My wife of 22 years cheated on me with my brother 17 years ago. Not even sure where to start this story. My wife and I dated all of high school and went to college together. We have literally been each other's everything since we were 14. We were each other's firsts. We married at 20 and had a kid at 23. We scratched our way up to middle class from literally nothing. It would be an understatement to say that our lives are so intertwined that separating would be catastrophic for both of us. I love this woman with every fiber of my being, which makes this betrayal so much more difficult. Fast forward a few years to 2006, when our daughter is 2 years old. My brother, 5 years older than me, is recently divorced from his wife. He was trying to get back on his feet, so I wanted to help in any way I could. I offered him our spare room for as long as he needed it. We cooked for him, cleaned up behind him, and helped him get his life together. After a few months, I noticed that he and my wife were buddying up a lot more than normal. I started noticing things that didn't quite sit right. I am yadding a lot of details, but eventually they started texting all the time and talking on the phone when he wasn't at our house. I knew there was something going on, but every time I brought it up, I was made to feel like a jealous idiot. After a while, there was little to no attempt to hide it. I went into a dark spiral of depression. The only thing that kept me going was my daughter. This went on for several months. One day I finally checked my wife's phone and saw that they had been sexting. My world absolutely fell apart. Trying to be the bigger person, I called them both together for a sit-down. They both agreed that nothing had ever been physical. They looked into my eyes and swore to me that the sexting was the extent of the affair. I swallowed my pride and tried to forgive in an effort to keep my family together. I would not hesitate to say that this incident broke my brain. I have suffered from severe depression and anxiety as a direct result of this betrayal. Fast forward 17 years to present day. My wife and I have had another child. Our lives are finally becoming comfortable. Life is good. On some idle Wednesday, my wife and I were talking and I caught her in a small lie. After needling her for hours, she finally admitted to kissing, snuggling, basically dry humping, over the clothes fondling, sending nudes, and phone sex. My life seemed to fall apart worse than it did 15 years ago. I called my entire life into question, including the fatherhood of my second daughter. She has his blue eyes. I spoke with my brother and let him know that I had my wife's side of the story, but now I needed his. Based on how they matched up would decide on how drastically I would take this. I used everything in my power to interrogate him for hours. For the most part, their stories lined up. There was a lot of I don't remember from both of them though. I highly doubt that is something easily forgotten. I let him know that we were done and to never contact anyone in my family again. During the interrogation, I caught them in a lie about when the affair ended. They had promised me that the affair had ended back when I caught them the first time 17 years ago. However, through some Sherlock-level observations, I proved that their affair kept going after I caught them. This devastated me. I was so fragile. Betrayed, and broken. I considered just ending it so many times, and she knew this. They both did. It kills me to know that I was so close to ending myself, and she couldn't keep herself from him. Fast forward a month. After catching my wife in more lies, her entire story unraveled and she admitted to having sex with him while she was at a work conference. She claims that this only happened once and that it was very awkward because he couldn't maintain an erection. She said she faked an orgasm he finished, and then he immediately left. According to her, they never had any more physical contact, and my brother married another woman and has been with her ever since. I may be a fool, but I am confident that the affair ended about 6 months after I caught them the first time. I don't know if I should believe that she has been faithful ever since. So anyways, here I sit. I have been married to this woman that I adore for 22 years. Our entire lives are woven together, so much so that I question if either of us can function without the other. I feel betrayed all over again. My wife is telling me that she lied to me to save our marriage and that I can't hold her responsible for dumb things she did 17 years ago. I am really trying to make peace with this. But I don't have a clue where to go from here. Is it worth ruining my life and decimating my family to teach my wife a lesson about something she did 17 years ago? Am I just being an idiot for believing her? I honestly don't know, but I feel that dark abyss of depression slowly creeping back to the front of my mind. It frankly scares the hell out of me and I don't know where to go from here. I am trying to maintain some semblance of normality for my youngest daughter. She has 4 years of high school left, so my plan right now is to move into our basement for the next 4 years. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. I don't feel like a man. I have lost all confidence in myself. I just feel like some useless weakling that can't stand up for himself, and has been made a fool of time and time again. Please help me, anonymous strangers of Reddit. Here is what some people had to say. Comment number 1.
You can't hold her responsible for something she did 17 years ago? What? Come on, man, this is someone who isn't remorseful and wants you to move on and forget about it. That's what you're dealing with. And that sucks. That's not love.
Someone answered this comment by saying,
But you can hold her responsible for lying to you for 17 plus years. She has been lying to you each and every day, seeing your struggles and letting you suffer. Typical lie from most cheaters. He could not maintain a hard-on and they only did it the one time, just a bunch of lies to make them look less like the pieces of crap they are, so they can pretend not to hurt you further. I'm so sorry. What she has done is pure torture. Moving to the basement sounds workable. I would tell your kids it's because your wife and your brother have been lying to you for years and you're at the end of your tolerance for such BS. Don't take the blame or allow her to lie to your kids. Keep it age appropriate. I would also recommend you get into IC. I think if you find a good therapist it will do you a world of good. Stay involved in your kids and their activities. I would also recommend you find a new hobby or get back into one that you enjoyed. Go to the gym, go camping, hiking, volunteer your time at an animal shelter. Take the kids with you, if they're interested. Do things that get you out of the house that will bring you joy or a feeling of accomplishment. Only if you arrive at a point where you feel better about yourself and you want to save the marriage I would look into MC, otherwise don't waste your time nor money. I guess she'll be okay if you want a hall pass. I doubt it.
Comment number 2.
Hi. It probably didn't end 17 years ago. The cheating may or may not have ended 17 years ago, but the trust died recently, and you won't be able to trust her. And if it wasn't bad as it was with your brother. The only thing worse than that would be if she had taken your dad for a ride too, but you'll never know and you'll ever wonder. You've suffered, you've thought of ending it, but read this words carefully, it's never too late to start fresh. It's scary, you may think you're breaking your family, but you're not. She did it, not you. And you're suffering for it and it's not worth your suffering. You have to think things through to see that you have a way forward, a way for you to start fresh and be happy. Either alone or with someone new. Your kids will always be there, even if your marriage ends. Marriage may end, but family doesn't, family just changes shape. Different boundaries, but don't invest your sanity in someone who doesn't respect you. Be happy, friend.
Comment number 3.
Mate, if I put a bomb in your house but it blows up only 17 years later, doesn't matter how old I was or what I did with you in between, I destroyed everything, end of story. She destroyed your family, not you. Mate, please get some space. You need to get away from her to breath and relax and think.
Here are some updates from the poster. Update number 1. Everything went sideways this morning. I caught her in another lie and finally she admitted that they had sex multiple times in Fleabag highway motels while I was away for work, just like so many of you said. So slight change in plans? I have a lawyer. My daughters both know. Her family knows. She is moving to the basement until alternative arrangements can be made. I will be keeping the house. Thank you all for your kind words and support. Update number 2. I am doing a little better. My brother still refuses to respond to me. I am pretty sure that he blocked my number. So I decided to tell his wife, his ex-wife, his daughter, my niece, as many of his friends as I knew, and his employer. If I can have my pound of flesh, I will spread chaos in his world. Despite not having anyone to turn to, I feel like I am in a better place. I honestly thank all you anonymous internet strangers for giving me the pickup I needed. Out of all the posts and replies, I don't think I got a single negative one. That speaks to all of your quality and caliber. This will probably be my last update. I promise I will pay it forward. And this is it for today's story. See you later.